Thank you for this opportunity to sit down with your station. I have the utmost respect for your station and each and every one of your employees, but more importantly, that young lady, Alex. I'm thankful for this opportunity to share my apology to her and to her family and to her friends and her coworkers. It was an awful act. It was an awful mistake. And I wish I could get the opportunity to have a conversation and have an apology to her in person, because she deserves that. She deserves that respect. And I have taken away so much from her, and I don't want to. I never intended to. She mentioned to be better, and I want to do better. I want to do right. And I want to listen to her to find out what I can do to make things better for her, and not just for her, for every single woman and your staff at WSAV and other photojournalists and media personnel. I had the utmost respect for the struggles that y'all went through these last few days. It's a bad situation, especially for her, but for everyone at y'all's station and her family and her friends. And I feel awful. I feel embarrassed and ashamed. And I can't take away what happened. I can't erase what happened, but I can take responsibility, and I can ask for forgiveness and ask for an apology that I want to give to her and have that opportunity. Alex, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do this. I think you're a great, great asset to this community and to the local media and to the national media. You're very talented. You're an amazing woman from what I've gathered, and I apologize. This was not right. This was not a good thing to do. It was an awful mistake, and I am very sorry, and I look forward to the opportunity to sit down and meet you in person and tell you in person that I'm sorry. Thank you.
You know, did you make a conscious decision to do that, or it was just like, you know?
I have run many races over the years, and running was something that has helped me feel better about myself. And that bridge run is one of my favorite runs every year. And, you know, the decision that the Savannah Sports Council said that I cannot run any race anymore, I respect that and I understand that. I'm still going to support them and their causes. I'm still going to support MARC and all the other local races. I know I cannot register to run. I know I cannot run in the races, and I respect that decision. But each and every race, money is donated to charities. And I feel like the only way that I can continue to do that is I want to send that registration fee to them and just make it a donation to them. In regards to this race, as I mentioned, it was one of my favorite, and it still is one of my favorite races. I was on the 5K course going over the bridge, and it's down to one lane. It's very tight up there. And there's an emergency lane, and then the right lane where majority of the people, and there's probably 4,000 or 5,000 people that ran that race. And it was tight running through there. And coming up to the top of the bridge, and I was happy and excited, because doing the double pump, you go over that bridge 3 times. And I was excited. I had one trip over down, and I had 2 more to go. And when I look ahead, I see all these people running around her and waving hands and all that stuff, and a TV camera, and she was out there in the running lane some. And I was like, I'll go just like everybody else and come up and wave my hands and, you know, smile for the camera and so forth. And as I was running, I get over there to get behind her and the camera view, and I'm getting ready to bring my hands up to raise her, and then kept on running. I did not know the extent of what happened. Yes, I touched her. I did not know where I touched her, because I just kept running. If I saw the facial reaction on her face, and turned around and looked back, I would have stopped and came back and just apologized to her right there and felt awful. I didn't know anything about what happened until 2 or 3 hours later when I've had friends message me. And I immediately knew that I'd done something wrong, and I immediately was reaching out to people to find out how I can get in touch with her and with the station and with the Savannah Sports Council. I reached out with Rob Wells. I did have a conversation with him that Saturday afternoon, and I had a lengthy conversation with him, and I apologized. I told him that I was an embarrassment to that event. That event should have been celebrated for the successes of the winners of each of those categories, whether it was the age group or overall or the 5K or 10K. Instead, this race became known as the guy that was there with a media person. And that's awful. That's not right. And I took that proud moment from other people, and I apologize for that.
So your assertion is not you did have your hands up, but you didn't realize where you touched her? Is that what I heard you correctly saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You didn't know you hit her on the butt?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay. Where did you think you touched her? I'm just curious.
I knew I touched her on her backside somewhere. I did not know if it was her back, her lower back, but I did not know. And I just kept running. I did not know.
Okay. So in retrospect, was it appropriate to touch her at all?
No, it's not. It is not, especially in that area where people were talking about. And looking at people as they were going up there was people having hands around her, or not around her body herself, but like I was wanting to just get up and, tap her on the shoulder or the back, and kept going, and, want to thank her for having the coverage and let people know that there's this event down there.
Yeah.
And it was a misjudging character. It was a mistake. It was an awful decision. And I can't take that away. I have to live with it. I have to do better. I have to be better, and work on the relationship of fixing this in every possible way.
Do you think if it would have been a man standing there, you would have tried to hit him or touch him?
I would have probably done the same thing, pat them on the back as well.
Is this predicated on the police report? Are you apologizing because of that, or you seem sincere? Are you sincere?
I'm very sincere. I was ready to apologize as soon as I found out Saturday. If I knew that she was still working throughout the day and there was a way that I can get in touch with her, I would have talked to her and apologized to her. I've reached out to the station, and I've had some conversations with y'all's general manager, and we had some meetings arranged, and then they got changed. And I respect that decision because she was probably not ready, and I totally understand. And I wanted to have that face-to-face conversation because I'm not that person that people are portraying me as. I'm a good person. I know I'm a good person, but I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I'm asking for forgiveness and to accept my apology.
Do you have children?